Hey, welcome everybody. Glad you're here. Hope you had a good holiday weekend. It was refreshing, extra long, right? How did you enjoy yours, Lily?
With family. We got together and we had a great time. Really enjoyed it, John. I needed it. I really
I
needed it.
think I think we all did. Think we all
How
did.
you doing today?
Not bad, not bad. Oh, and in case you don't know, our names are in the title, but I'm John Zidar, and that's LillyStar. Just in case anybody gets confused. So we like to talk about OTC stocks here and penny stocks, folks, and that's what we're all about, the aftermarket discussion. We're here to talk about stocks you want to talk about, any stocks that are on your list of consideration, stocks you're invested in. We can look at the charts, look at the news, whatever you're interested in.
Yeah, put
Put
it in the
us to work
comments.
for you.
Drop it in the comments so we see it and we'll try to get to it before we end the stream. So hope y'all having a good one. Hope you had a great fourth. John, do you have any news going right now for
Well,
looking at?
the uh, the OTC market was getting stronger there. I don't know if you remember. Well, you weren't here last week. You had important business to take care of, but we were really getting strong, and we hit 15 billion, and we fell all the way back
Wow.
down to 6 billion. And today, it looks like we
Well,
did.
today. I looked today.
I think we did about 8 billion today. I'm just taking a quick glance. Oh, look at that!
Well,
Just shy of 10 billion. So we are back to our double digits, and this is real important. Um, we didn't do very much dollar volume. God, that's so incredible. It dropped. We normally do 2.1 billion. We only did 1.8 today. But that really is of no effect. I mean, it's really about how many shares you want volume. It's not about price until you get volume. Isn't that right? Without the volume, you got nothing.
you got nothing.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I think here in a little bit, you're going to tell us just how important that volume is with the
I'm
stock that
gonna I'm
you're
gonna
looking for.
cover one today.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to throw up some news here while we're waiting for people to come in. This is news that's come from the last couple of days and today. It's not old news, and this isn't a feed. This is news I actually went out and found. So let me see. I got to get my share button, which is all the way down here at the bottom. There we
Look
go.
at John trying to take care of y'all every time he comes here on Thursdays.
All right. We will go to right there. I do believe that'll give you your screen. Yeah. And we'll put up the news, and here it comes. So there's been a lot going on. Um, between Roe versus Wade, we had the contraceptive market jump. We had
Yeah,
China ease tension on technology companies. We are still seeing some bounce there. Bankruptcy plays still hot. Uh, there's a lot going on right now that's just, it is hard to find. I mean, unless you know where you're looking, where do you look? And you can use scanners on your OTC platforms. I mean, your trading platforms. Perfect
yeah.
place to find these stocks. OTC market, the page I use, current markets. Man, that's my favorite page. You see me showing that off all the time. I should keep it secret, but I need you to buy the shares too.
Well, I mean, I remember when I first started trading OTC, or I was interested in it, and I had such a hard time finding anything. And if I did find something, it was something somebody else was saying. I couldn't find actual news until I found the OTC markets, and that's the only one that I found that I heavily rely on constantly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the OTCmarkets.com is a company on the OTC markets. They actually have a stock for themselves, and that's their business. They run that website and do all that work for us. So that's what they're actually getting paid for. That's their company. And I don't know of any other company that does that, houses all the OTC information. Now, it's not like Investors Hub or, they don't have all this extra stuff. It's just the meat and potatoes, which really, that's what you're looking for on every single stock. This news here, you could go find this elsewhere, but why sort through all the NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, and all the other news? Over at the OTC market, it's just OTC news. That's it.
That's right. And that's what I like about them. And then if you decide, hey, that looks interesting, you can actually go a little bit further. They'll tell you about their financials, if they're current.
Right.
You learn a lot there.
Absolutely. Coming up here, folks, we've got a web page that you can go to. We do these so that we can invite you in so that you can get this full time. No need just to get it 1 hour a week. We do this all week, all day. Come on over to Penny Boys and Titan Trading. Whatever it is you do, equities, options, OTC.
I think we got somebody for everything.
Yep, absolutely. All right, I'm going to turn off this news now, and I'm going to let you tell us about volume, how important it really is here.
That's a good one. I will go ahead and get started because the first one I want to cover is that one. And so I updated today in our Titan Discord. I put it out there for everybody. I'm going to share my screen real quick. Give me just a second. And that way I can show you what I am referring to. All right, you're going to see multiple screens. I apologize. Give me just a second. Can you see that, John?
You.
Okay, so this is the one I was covering today was NPPTF. So Neptune Digital, I think it's Neptune Digital. And I lost the rest of the name.
Neptune Digital Assets.
There you go, assets. Couldn't remember if it was assets or corporation. Anyway, so Neptune Digital Assets have taken a stake, a $2 million stake in SpaceX. And anybody that knows, SpaceX or Elon Musk, this is his company. So that's the thing. You can't touch SpaceX because it's privately owned. It doesn't publicly trade. And I want to say that Google also has a stake in SpaceX, like 7.6%. And then you have this one, which is a little OTC. There's not too much chatter about it just yet, but I just wanted to show the actual news. Here I went into the OTC markets.com to see where we were at. And it was sitting at 16 cents. We've stayed at 16 cents all day. No volumes came in. I mean, it started at 0 today and 250 is all we've gotten. So that was kind of odd because their normal volume, I saw it somewhere on here. Normal volume is around
go over to the
1,000.
Go over to the quote page.
Quote. There we go. So your average volume is 42,000 and we only had 250 today. That was kind of strange to me.
Yeah,
I don't know why. I don't know if it's because no one liked anybody's buy or sell. Maybe the spread was too different. I don't know. Either way.
So what's the connection with Neptune and SpaceX?
Well, Neptune is actually, and some people might not like this right now because crypto is kind of suffering, but they are a crypto miner, and they're based out of Canada. They are cash heavy. They have zero debt, John. This is why I'm bringing it up. Because in this type of market, this is how you want to be. This is the type of company you want to see. No debt. They have cash. I want to say they have 19 million cash on hand, and they've invested 2 million into SpaceX. And I don't know why they did that because they're crypto, but I want to say maybe it's because they're diversifying. They're looking for other things that's going to hold them over. Maybe they're anticipating.
Well, I do know. I did just hear some news the other day. SpaceX has been putting up satellites for Starlink. Starlink is what Musk wants to do for network. Internet. So he's putting satellites up, and it's supposed to be January 1st that he's launching Starlink onto and it is a division. It's a subsidiary of SpaceX. So if they spin that out onto the NASDAQ, anybody who already is invested will have an investment into Starlink, most likely.
It could be that. We do have another theory within the Discord. Forgive us. But we have another theory.
Nikki.
They want to take their crypto miners and they want to run them on the moon because it's cooler. So that's another theory. There you go. Either way, I like seeing companies that do have cash on hand and companies that are investing or diversifying. They're seeing something. So I'm seeing something. So what I'm going to do now is bring up the chart real quick. This is MPPTF. So right here, I did a Fibonacci retracement. We're looking at the 20-day here, just 1 hour. And this line right here, y'all can ignore it now, but I wanted to see it break out over this, and it has. Mm-hmm. And now we're sitting at another fib It has to get over, or it's going to come back down, and it'll give a chance for a dip buy. Matter of fact, this happened at the end of the day. Had to have. It set at 16 cents all day. All day. And then you see it.
Didn't you mention that yesterday it had super high volume?
Yesterday, it was a little bit better. I want to say it was 12,000 yesterday. And yesterday is when this news was released. So this is my hope. I don't know. This is the thing. This is not a play. This is not something to consider unless we get volume coming in. Because if it's going to do this, you could sit there and just hold. Nobody could care about this news. I thought it was pretty neat. So I wanted to bring it up, and maybe, we'll be the first ones, if we're watching it, the first ones to possibly get in there and play this one. And I think we're going to see some resistance around that 22 cents range. When you didn't have the Hakanashi candles on, you couldn't even see these candles. So I'm going to pull back further. Let me go back to 20-day. So right here, if we do get above this, we got the 20 cents, 23 cents. You're going to see resistance there. But first, before that even happens, we have to get volume here. We have nothing. This was yesterday.
Yep.
Or probably a couple of days before, Tuesday. Probably right before that news. And so it did a nice movement. Our low was 9 cents. So, it's already moved a good bit, not quickly though. So if for any reason, if
what is its high? What's its 52-week high?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's way higher. Hold on. See right here at 66 cents.
And currently it's at.
Currently we're at 16. Well, it was at 16 right before the close. So right around
okay.
17,
all right.
18,
so about 4 times, 400% difference between the two.
Yeah, and if we were to actually look at the year, I think that is the year. Hold on. Time frame, 1 year. Yeah. All right. Yep. This is what you got. 66 cents. And it's came way down since then. I mean, I can't tell you like what it was doing back in the day. I want to say it had even more substantial run than that.
Right.
Before. If we go back 3 years.
Yeah,
$1.78 if you go back 3 years. That could have been a reverse split. I don't know. But I do know this is around the 2020.
So you see this as a fast play when it gets volume, or are you looking for this company to surprise us with some serious growth?
Well, actually, if you like the crypto space, crypto miners, if you're kind of bullish on that, even though those markets are suffering right now, I do see this as a longer term play because I like the company they're not looking to, dilute on you. They're not looking to do offerings. They have cash. I like that. And since they're on the OTC, I think that's really important because, the investors will be able to possibly take a long hold. I wouldn't buy long here. If this news starts popping off, then the move is going to happen, and this will be a short-term thing. And then it's probably going to give a lot of it back, especially if those markets keep suffering. So that's just something to keep in mind. I would play this short-term if we see volume come in. And if you were wanting to take a longer position, I'll go back to the 180-day with 9. If it
so she's been following the trend of the market. I mean, she's falling like everybody else.
Exactly. So right here, it's held with the 9. The 13.5 range is a good spot to try to get in if it's going to hold that. If not, then I would wait to see if it retests.
Right. This might be one of those stocks you build your position into. I mean, if you're looking at it for long term, it's cheap right now. I mean, it's cheap. And
it is.
The highs we're looking at, that was back before all this stuff had happened. Yeah. That's before they had a lot accomplished. So they would probably be worth more now, except the market sentiment is down.
Big run before, but I mean, that was a totally different market too. So just
have you been playing any bankruptcies here recently?
Not that I know of. Are you talking about the bankruptcies that you've been following?
Well, I mean, any that you found, because I mean, there's bankruptcies popping up everywhere, and people are just.
The last one I followed was REV, and it did
right. There was, if you mind, I can show people a couple of bankruptcies that.
Sharing real quick. I've got a couple more, but I'll let you have it.
We had a bankruptcy that was announced by a company, ticker FMIPQ, and I did see it, and I think I might have mentioned it, but we never focused in on it. And folks, this thing ran today. It was at our magic number, 0.011, I think it was, and it went to $3.75. That is a 37,000% gain in one day. Let me show this to you. We're just going to jump over to the chart. There we go. All right, let me jump into my chart here and get this all set up for you. I do got a couple of technicals over there I want to show you, so I'm going to keep that over there. I don't want to lose that. And there it is. SIMPQ.
Yes, and look how much it gave back, but it was an amazing run.
Oh my God,
gosh.
it's a teepee. Now, this is only the second time I saw it when it was falling right here, but I was watching it from about right here, about right there. I had noticed it on the charts. It came up on my scan over here.
Oh, I'm sorry, John. If you'll bring that chart back up real quick.
Yeah.
I wanted to show them what I was talking about again. Look up under those bars. You see that volume? That's what I'm talking about right there.
Yep.
So this one on this particular day, in my opinion, from what I can see, is substantial volume. Is different, way different than its norm. So that's something you want to look for. Go ahead, John.
Now, I can't tell you any reason. I never can. This company announced
bankruptcy.
Right, but the point is they are losing value now. There is no reason for a bankruptcy to go up when you've got months of restructuring and tear down and rebuilding up. This is just stupid, but it happens. And this is a ridiculous gain. This didn't happen over a week. This happened in a matter of hours, 24 to 37,000% gains in one day. Your penny down here, $100, what would have made you $37,000 up here?
3,700?
Incredible.
3,700?
Well, no, 37,000% is 3,700 times. So you take your $100 bill and you multiply it times 3,700. Right?
I think you are right. I just have never participated in one like that.
375. But then you're at like 300 times 100 is 3. God, I'm thinking that is.
I'm having bad weather. Apologies.
Yeah. But in either case, folks, it's happening. This does happen on the OTC. It's not just talk. You don't have to come off the expert market. But I'm drawing this to your attention because there's a lot of bankruptcy stocks that are bouncing. Another one that came off of the NASDAQ, Electric Last Mile. Electric Last Mile, ELMS, I believe it is. Oh, it's got a Q behind it now. You always got to remember a Q is on the end of a bankruptcy. So this is where the stock sat today. It doesn't look like it did a whole lot. Now, is that today right here? Yeah. So she had a fall, a huge jump, and I got to imagine that's why the warrant jumped today. She did fall right back to the 200. But if you come over here and change that S to a W, I do believe that's right. Yeah, we had over 1,200% gains on the warrant, which is still on the NASDAQ, I do believe. Let me verify that. Trade.
Strange when they do that. They leave the warrant on the NASDAQ, though, when this happens, usually.
It says OTC other. I'm not quite sure. But in either case, you get to trade it the same way. And we forget about that. When these companies come down from the NASDAQ, just because they came down doesn't mean they lose their warrants. They just got pulled off the major markets. They still have warrants. And the warrant today jumped 1,200%. Now, this is a bankruptcy. There's the only good news you get with the bankruptcy is they're going to be restructuring. That's your first letter. And then you have approval of the restructuring and then the launch of the restructure. And that can take months. And the price will fall normally, not climb. But this is what's happening in the first week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah, and we have a viewer, JWAG, who's asking, wasn't this a SPAC, which was at $10? I'm not sure if this one was a SPAC. You have a warrant. Was that the case?
Let's see. You may be right. I think it was. Let's put that S back in there, and we'll just bring up the chart and go back 3 years. Let's see if we get a $10 standard price.
That's a
Oh, no. You can't look at it with the Q. You got to take the Q off because that ticker's not been around that long. There we go. All right. So here's our standing price here. Yeah. Yeah. She's right at $10 flat
So it
line.
looks like it was a SPAC, which came out with a warrant. They usually do.
Yep. Hit
So good on
$15.
that, JWAG. But wow, look at how much it dropped. And I mean, I don't know what happened with the company, but bankruptcy. I mean, the rough times in the market right now are real. I had somebody contact me yesterday asking about reverse splits, and then I explained some things to her, and she said, "Well, that happened to me today." And she said, "And there was two last month." And I said, "Oh, sweetie, in this type of market, you're going to see that more and more with these small caps. They're trying to stay afloat. They're trying to stay listed.
And
They're
that's one of the
scrambling."
reasons. That's one of the reasons we warn people: do not get into long holds on the OTC unless they have proven themselves to be climbers and on an uptrend. Just don't do it, because these companies who are falling, they need money. And what they're doing is basically putting money back in the bank. They're pulling all the shares back from us and throwing them in the bank because it's currency for them. And we pay the bill. Now, initially, it's all even. Yeah, you have less shares and the same money. But it's not about the money. It's the potential. But the fact is, once these people do a reverse split, where's that price go?
Exactly. And it hurts to go through it. So, that's what I was telling her, because she was in from 2020, 2021. I love playing small caps myself, but I just wanted to, kind of help her out to let her know that this could continue to happen for a little while, especially with these smaller caps. So right now, mostly I play things short term, and I play the momentum until the market tells me different. So y'all keep that in mind, because I like playing these too, just like you do.
Another stock that I pointed out the other day, this stock has only got one thing going for it. China's pulled their restrictions, some of their restrictions, off of traveling. And this company is a Chinese travel company, just like the ones we have online here, real popular, except they only pander primarily to the Chinese public. Well, they've been cooped up a long time. And it's really about traveling around their own country. They can travel around the world too. But that's all this company has had. And look what it's been doing ever since this news has come out. It is running every single day and pushing up. I'm just letting you know, you're looking for stocks that are in hot seasonal sectors. This is one of them. And the more they release, the more this company is going to earn. Now, right now, it's not running on any money it's making. It's just running because it has business it can start doing. People are just happy about that. And it's a huge market. China is a very huge, the biggest market out there, and they've been cooped up. So these people want to see family. They're going to be traveling. Now, I don't know how long these things run. It's just like the contraceptive companies. They're up and down. They are up and down, just like the electric car companies, up and down. I mean, there's nothing truly reliable right now. That's why we say long holds aren't the best play. You want to stay with it as long as it's showing production. But, right now is a time to average down if you've been holding things and they're just too low. You don't want to sell. It's a great buying opportunity.
That's a good point too, John. Like this chart right here. What was the ticker on this one?
This is TOUR, TOUR.
Okay. So what was that? Almost 8 or so days ago. Let's say you were deciding to swing this. You saw some volume, you see some green bars, you're taking a position. Maybe you're buying a little more when it dips. And you sell on the way up. But here's the thing. When you have one that's moving like this, just so beautifully, look at that. It's just gorgeous. And you don't know, it may sell off, but you don't know. You can always use a trailing stop. Go ahead and take some profits, take the rest of them, put a trailing stop on it. And if the trend breaks and it stops doing what it was doing, then you take your profits. But if not, and it continues on, you're still in the game. That's a good way to play.
Now, that is great advice, and it does work with this stock because it's on a major exchange. Keep in mind, OTC markets do not have trailing stop losses. We get stop losses, but we don't get to grab any extra profit. It's a real robbery. I don't like it. We can't buy in. You can't buy into a stock on a market order. You can get out on a market order on the OTC, but you can't get in. And that's very important if you're playing fast plays. If you see something running first thing in the morning, you've got to grab a price. You just can't hit market and grab whatever, throw a hook on the bus going by and be hooked. You've got to pull a number. And if you don't get a number high enough, it passed you. Good luck catching it. So I always say, if you are trying to catch a runner, you better get ahead of it at least one of the bounces before. If there was a 2-cent bounce, well, you better be 2 cents above the current price. You've got to let it run into you so that you can grab into that game. That is a stinky thing, not being able to mark it in. But these are things you need to know before you make a play and find out you can't do that.
Or you find out too late and it messes up your whole plan, you know. So
Yeah.
good information, John. Thank you. And we had somebody on YouTube. This guy says, hello, just tuned in. Thanks for the content. Please, can you discuss ENDP position 59 cents? Are you saying your position's at 59 cents, this guy?
Oh, this guy. Yeah, this guy and I. We've chatted a little bit about this, but let's take a look at ENDP. You know, I think I got in just a few cents lower than you did, to be honest. Not too much further away from that. ENDP, which is the contraceptive company, I believe it is, isn't it?
I know EBFM is. I'm not sure ENDP. I'm not familiar.
Yeah, I'm almost sure that they are. I look at so many companies and these tickers pretty much blend together. So we did look at it here. We saw it run up and she did bounce after market higher and has fallen ever since. Now, right now, let's see. Let's get some lines up there.
He did confirm that 59 cents is his position. Where's it sitting at right now, John?
She is at 53 cents. 53 cents. So we can see she came down in there and she's stuck in a triangle here.
She's wedging right now.
Yeah, beautifully. And look, we've got our 200-day haul on the bottom and our 200-day normal SMA. The haul is just like the top one, 200 days, but it gives more credence to current time. And all these SMAs actually have pressure. It's like getting your hand near an oven. You can feel it hotter and cooler by how close you are. Well, these have gravity. And when they start to get close to the price, they do have an effect on it, just like planets in the moon. So these things are squeezing in on it like toothpaste. And when that pops, it's going to pop somewhere. And it's going to pop in the direction of your technicals. You read your technicals. If they are hot and pushing up, your toothpaste goes up. If they're not, well, your toothpaste comes down. Now, it can go sideways, but normally not. Normally, something happens. So we got a lot of potential.
When it completes that wedge, we'll probably see it pop out or it's going to drop, one or the other.
Let's see what our 5-minute looks like. So she's been consolidating here for about 2 days. I mean, she had a bounce here, but she's not getting away from a very tight section. Really tight. And she is coming down. I would say watch this tomorrow. This looks like it's ready to make a decision. That's all I can say. And you got to remember, this is only running on the catalyst of the sector. It's running on market sentiment. It hasn't got, maybe this did. I'm thinking this might have had a piece of news. Let me change my screen here for us.
Now, J-Wag is saying that it was, had an iris connection and it's involved in contraception. So,
yeah,
you're on target with your thoughts.
I thought that was the case. Just want to be sure. ENDP. Company profile. They're not going to tell us. So we'll just jump into a piece of news. You got some news for us? Oh, come on. And then you're going to have to go to a disclosure. Here was that 8K that came out just a week ago. Endo International received notice from listing qualification indicating price. Common stock is fall. Oh, right. That's why they got yanked down. This is all part of the news. 53 cents. Yeah, I don't see anything here because it's on the NASDAQ. We'd actually have to go over to FinViz or Google or somebody like that. So she could pop. Again, this is all about the Roe versus Wade contraceptive, but actually it's more about Judge Thomas. Roe versus Wade was a decision made, but it was Judge Thomas that brought up contraception. He's the one that's in that corner making all the noise. So if he starts making more noise, you may see this stock run. As I said, I'm invested just a couple pennies below you. I'm still a hair in the red. So, yeah, I'd like to see this run up too, but now it's starting to get a little thin. It could, anything can happen. This is changing our entire country. So there's a lot of companies and business that will have to change supply and demand. Stores will change supply and demand. And if stores start limiting how much you can buy at a time, that can actually put pressure on the market and create this to go. So there's a lot of factors involved. I would say as soon as you have an opportunity to get out of this, it would probably be safe to do that. I'm not saying take a loss. She's not anywhere looking like she should fall, but you want to keep in mind she hasn't got any real catalysts of her own right now.
And you have to watch it. It could be sympathy. You have to watch it. So if it breaks out of that trend that John was showing you, you're going to have to be willing to cut your losses, and so it doesn't harm you as much. Now, if EBFM decides to keep going up, that was with Fexi. If it happens a short squeeze or something like that again, then you might see some sentiment, like it will follow a little bit. But usually when these things happen, this type of news, it's a short-term play. It's going to come back down and find some consolidation. So we'll see. Watch the volume on that one and watch that trend.
Now, I'm going to have to come back here again. You mentioned sympathy plays, and there was a sympathy play today, as a matter of fact. Let me trade my screen so that you can see this. There we go. So that you can see my chart again. Boink. This is WCEXF. Now, I'm trying to remember what. Oh, yeah. This is a sympathy play for SIMPQ. SIMPQ, the one that ran 24.37%, 1,000% today. This was running too, and it had a bounce here of 0.005 up to a penny and a half. So that was a 300% sympathy bounce. And the reason is the directors are the same for both companies. The directors in SIMPQ are in this company too. That's the only connection they have. And boop, this ran too. Not as much as 27,000, but I'll take 300. But unless you know that stuff.
Yeah. That was a nice pop for that one. And the sympathy, you're right. Just because they're directors, it's not news. But just because that connection was made, that was a nice pop. 300% is great. Amazing gains. I took that too.
And it was quick. And this is what I'm emphasizing over and over. We are seeing strong runners, but holding profits is a whole different game. We see the market is still falling. So you want to take your profits fast, and don't be looking for that invisible ceiling, because as soon as you hit your head, look how fast it falls. You've just lost you're trying to put in your order as soon as you saw it fall. By the time you get your order in, you're down here. You're now even further down. Honestly, I know it sounds silly, but you should get in the habit of selling on the way up before you see danger, Will Robinson. Honestly, it gets up to 80, 90, 100%, and you feel a little nervous inside because you're not sure if it's going to change direction. Start putting in your order. Put your order in. While you're putting it in, it's still climbing. When you glance up to see what's going on, it's still climbing. By the time you get your order in, you got more than you expected. It's more than it was when you started. You wait till it hits the ceiling, it's the exact opposite. It's going to be less than you expected by the time your order is finished because it's falling so fast. You don't go broke leaving money on the table, but you do watching it fall on the other side.
That's right. That waiting and hoping, you got to have a plan. Always have a plan for your trades.
And an emergency exit, you only need to be on, like Broncos, rodeos. You only need to be on that thing, 7 seconds? You don't have to be there a long time. They're not saying stay up there forever. Stay on as long as you need to get your gain and get out. Don't get greedy. The more often you succeed at taking something, the more money you're going to end up with in the long run. Just bottom line.
Gotcha. John, I have another one, unless you got a couple more to cover.
No, go for it. I mean, I have stuff lined up all day, so don't you got to stop me.
So I'm going to share my screen again, everybody. Bear with me. Like I said, you're going to see a bunch of little screens, but this way it allows me to switch back and forth quickly. So hold on. Oh, that is not the right one.
On the board.
There we go. Can you see that?
Yes, we do.
Okay, perfect. So right here, I just had to mention this. I had to bring it up. Now, this stock's on the OTC, but it's a little bit higher. The ticker is BYDDF. And here's the article. I think this came out yesterday, maybe the day before in the afternoon. But it was pretty much Build Your Dreams is the company. And they're pretty much saying, they're showing that they are taking the market share. Like they are becoming the conglomerate when it comes to EVs. They're taking over even Tesla and what they're manufacturing and putting out. So it deserves to be talked about. If they are giving Tesla a run, and this is, I think it's Chinese based, but I know it's overseas company. And their sales, and they're putting out more vehicles and selling more vehicles than Tesla. And that's what we're seeing here. And this is what they're reporting. It is a Chinese, looks like Chinese company. All right. So I'm going to pull up that chart as well. Sorry, somebody else about GME, so I had to look at it real quick. But BYDDY, look at this. Now we had a low here of 42, which was in March when the whole market kind of went down. But for this to be an OTC stock, I mean, this is some major prices. We're not talking about pennies here. And right here, when I did my retracement, this was a previous high, and we're breaking out over it right now. And that happened today. Look what it's doing, and it's holding above it, and it's consolidating beautifully up here. So I don't think it's going to give it back. I think this may have a possibility to continue to run.
No, well, what I always say is find the center of a big surge, and if it stays above the center, you're doing good. That stayed on the top.
I agree. I agree. I'm not saying that we can't have a rough day or that we might have a pullback. Absolutely, we could.
A pullback, but yeah, I think it's found a new plateau to hang around, a new channel.
Yeah, it may. It may. And the reason why I'm thinking that is just because of the news that it's not Tesla, but if it's starting to take over, with what they're putting out, what they're manufacturing, maybe possibly a market cap, this is going to continue to keep going up.
And if
it
you
may
don't
have
know,
some dips, but I think it's going to continue.
Build Your Own Dream is an EV company.
What was that, John?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Build Your Own Dream is an EV car company that you get to make a custom EV car from your own home. You get to put your car together online.
Maybe
you pick your own thing to make your own car. Build your own dream. Yeah. I like the chart. It looks like she's
we covered it in the Twitter space a couple of days ago. And
are we having technical trouble?
Buy it here unless it's something I'm really interested to go long in. And I'm not quite there yet. So we may get a dip. We have a 74 fib retracement here, 68. Those areas, maybe if the market gets a little bit rougher. But I just wanted to bring it up because I want you to have it on your watch list. We don't have to just trade penny stocks. We do have people that are, bigger investors that want to play in bigger cap markets and look for plays like this. So I wanted to mention it just so you're familiar with the ticker and you keep an eye on it yourself. I'm not saying to trade this right now.
Right, but if they're strong competitors for Tesla, and what's Tesla at right now?
Oh gosh, what in the 600s, wasn't it? I can't.
And she's been over 1,000 a lot.
Oh yes, 1,200 and something was her high, 1,250, and right now we're sitting at 732.
And your Build Your Own Dreams is at $84 right now. So it's like getting into Tesla early if you believe in that dream. I mean, that's a price you'd pay for Tesla in a heartbeat.
That's what I think is happening. That's what I think a lot of people are doing, or they're willing to dollar cost average into this position. But for me personally, I've got to do a little bit more research. Just because one news article came out, I'm not going to jump in just yet, especially if there's no dip yet,
The more you know.
Yeah, exactly. So I hope that helps you guys. And keep an eye on it. Anyway, the last one I want to talk about is APRN, which is Blue Apron. So, and this right here is, I think, 180 day. I'm going to get a little bit closer for you guys. Go up to the 20 day. And you can see where it's low of 227, and we've already hit 504. And I'm so sorry. I don't know if y'all heard that, but I have a terrible storm coming in. There's lightning and thunder. Sorry.
Well, maybe that's it, because you've been cutting in and out.
Yeah, it keeps doing it, and I apologize.
Can't control the weather.
I can't. I'm sorry. It scares me a little even.
Anyway, let's get
closer. Our 5-day, 5-minute. This one's already had an incredible run. And it really is a short squeeze candidate. However, I think it's squeezed already a little bit. So that's going to have to build up again. but it has $140 million market cap. We've definitely had higher highs than this before on Blue Apron. And they've got so many deals, you guys. They have deals with Walmart. They're partnered with Walmart. This is a food service where they prepare the meals or have it all packaged for you. They have partners with Walmart. I think they even sell wine. And they have Blue Cross Blue Shield. They have a partnership with them and Planet Fitness. So, I mean, the company's doing things. I like this. I like seeing this.
Yeah, with names that aren't obscure.
That?
With companies that aren't obscure, with companies we've heard of.
Exactly. So there's been a lot of play on this one already. But, you know, with the volume's been like 2.8 million. That's a good bit of volume. We did have a pullback today, and that's kind of what I wanted to look at. I'm going to get a little closer to your 1 minute. So, you know, I put this line up here because I wanted it to hold above it, and it didn't. And then you have your fib of 438, and it's pretty much, it went down a little bit, okay? But you had buyers step in there. You can tell by the wick. So it may hold around this range, and I'm going to keep an eye on it because if it does, I think it's got a little more to give. I do know when it comes to Reddit, it was trending like number 13, probably number 10 by today. It's probably in the top 10 when it comes to short squeeze candidates and the ones that Reddit's chattering about. So that's just something else to know. There's a lot of chatter about this one. And the food sector in general is been doing pretty well here lately. So I wanted to bring it up just in case you're watching it or if you're playing it or if you're interested in playing it. You know, you can't give back too much. It'd have to hold around the 435, 430 area, you know, back where it dipped here. But if we're going to continue, I think we're going to hold above the 438. You might get lucky to get in under that, and then we're going to hold above here. And then when it crosses this line, it may pop off again. So I'm just bringing it up, just something for you to watch. This is not an OTC, but it is a penny stock, and I absolutely like talking about them, and I love trading them. That's pretty much it. Oh, John. Oh, yes. I wanted to talk about EVFM. I know. It's been going crazy. I know.
Well, that's why we like to talk about it. Show us what's going crazy, please.
You guys. Yeah, because it gave back a lot today. This is why I wanted to talk about it.
Wow, you look at that. Yeah.
We're going to go to a 5-day just so you can kind of see how it's been doing. And, you know, we do have some pullbacks on it. Today, it gave back pretty much everything it gained. So here's the thing. If this is going to continue, because this is another short squeeze candidate, in my opinion, it's already squeezed a lot. I mean, 80 cents to $1.57. There could be continuation, though. That's why I'm bringing it up. So it has to hold this level. The $1.22 definitely cannot go back under the $1.16, $1.17 area. And if it does, we're going to see $1.10, $1.11, possibly even 90 cents again. And if that's the case, the move's over. If we're going to continue, if we're going to continue,
the mood is over. Forget it.
Yeah, the move is
Blow
over.
The candles out. Put the wine away. We're done.
We'll go back to the charts and see if there's more potential coming in. But, you know, as long as we keep the volume, and the move could be done. I mean, the Roe versus Wade news is what did this. This is a contraceptive company with Phexi, not Flexi, Phexi. So it could be that it was just that and that's it. But the thing is, if there's a lot of shorts that was already in here and they haven't covered, if we keep seeing pressure from retail, if we keep seeing the volume, if it keeps holding, then we may have something there. If not, it's not a play. Okay. Just wanted to bring it up to you. Right now, in my opinion, it's already given back too much for me. I don't like it here.
Well, she's back to ground zero. If she's an opportunity, this is a perfect place to get in. If it plays out to the opportunity.
Set up.
But I wouldn't get in yet. I'd wait for the confirmation. And are you sitting in a right place for it? Good
Thank
timing,
you, John. Exactly. I would wait. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing now. You need that confirmation, especially with these are riskier plays. You got to think these are small caps. There's lots of chatter of what could be happening, what may be happening. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, or the move could already happen and you've missed it. And that's okay. We'll find another.
So I want to touch on the two stocks right now real quick. I'm going to touch on the JZZI, which was great today. And as A Lo Loco has pointed out, it's been a multi-day runner. Like to find those stocks that keep running. Don't throw it back the second part of the day. But right now, we're looking at a stock that I brought up to you a couple of times. They've got no business right now. They've just changed their name. This is a George Sharp play. This is supposedly the first pure play NFT stock on the market. Their ticker is WNFT. They're a shell company, but they have plans. Don't know what their plans are, but the fact is, I think a lot of people are going to be watching this. And I'm pointing it out to you again. This is the fourth time in like 5 days, because I do believe it's going to have a day. And right now, the charts are setting up. On the 5-minute, we are just coming up over top of the 200-day SMA, and the technicals are all sitting up in the hot zone. So I'm just saying, keep an eye on it. Technicals look good, and I have a feeling about WNFT and George Sharp. I think he's got something.
If I know anything about George Sharp, he's going to keep on talking about it and getting it hyped up. He really is. And it may not move like we would have in 2020 or 2021. This could be the move, but John's got a point there.
The other one was the one pointed out in our chat right there, JZZI. They had news come out today. That their technology was picked up by a large internet provider and is going to be used on a long-term basis. You know, I read the news. I did. I go through the news every day. I look at it in timely fashion. Every 15, 20 minutes, I'm over there looking. I did read it. You know, I didn't see any of the magic words, reverse merger, blah. I didn't see any dollar value, so it just went by my head. Oops. So they had a huge jump today. You can see they had a little bit of excitement the previous 2 days, just enough to get your attention. You can see how small the price bar is here. Price bars now are twice as big. So, you know, you don't see any volume, but you do see the price is fluctuating more. There's more negotiations going on, but the volume had not yet come in. Today it did. Yeah, today it flooded in. And it went from, let's just call it 002 all the way up there to 0083. So you're looking at
amazing.
Over 300%. Just on soft news. No mergers, no acquisitions. It's a deal. So you really do find gold in that news, but you've got to read it, and what you need to do is follow up. You know, if you think, maybe put it on a list so you don't overlook it. I didn't notice this until it popped up on my scan over here. You know, you see these numbers, and unless they have big volume, I normally don't look at them. I don't. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not. As a matter of fact, if you look at ones that have lower volume, say 250,000, that could be the start of a runner. It's warming up today, you know, like we just saw on the chart. A little bit, just a little bit of a bump. It went from 10,000 to 285,000 shares. Then all of a sudden it hits millions. Wow. We did see one piece of popcorn pop in the pot. We should have known what was coming. So these are stocks that are out there right now that are making good gains. Some of them could continue. Some of them may not. Now, I'll tell you what I don't like about this chart right now. Right there. That's the 200-day SMA. It is just now coming into the picture on the 5-minute. Yeah. And I'll tell you the reason I don't like it. Oftentimes, not always, but most times, when it appears the price wants to play up to the largest SMA on the board. The 50 has been the largest SMA. And where did it play up to? It got away from it and came right back home. Started to fall and went, nope, this is where I'm sticking. Well, now that there's a bigger guy in town, it could just push down here because there's more data in that. People trust that more. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this fall just because of that, not because of anything else.
Yeah, well, that was good news. And we got Snookeroo that says that he played it and it screamed up the chart and he sold at 0.005. But, you know, if you were in and you got to play it, that's fantastic.
Heck yeah. Good for you. Look, that is perfect. Bravo. That's right. You know, yeah, you could have gotten more out of it, but I'm not scolding you for that, man. That is great. That was a very strong run, and you got out about halfway up the ladder. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. Look at all the frustration you avoided. You didn't have to go through any of that through the day. You took it while you were excited. I love that. Beautiful play.
No, I'm happy about it. I think it was fantastic. So good job. And to be honest, it's important to take those types of gains. We don't know what kind of market we could tune into tomorrow, really, guys, or the next week. We got so much other things that are happening that's coming. Inflation is still an issue. The OTC markets are doing better with volume.
Yeah,
So
did you see today we did almost
like that.
10 billion shares? 9.9
So, our
billion.
season's coming back, I think everybody's like, okay, crypto's trash. NFTs aren't doing much right now. Stock market's all over the place. And it's very possible that and that's kind of like what John was saying with that bankruptcy one. It is a pump. It's an absolute pump. But if you see it, there's nothing wrong with playing that, getting in there, securing the gains, getting out.
Oh,
we do have the
absolutely.
volume returning. It's not as high as it used to be, but looking way better than it did. Yeah.
I got no problem with pump and dumps. Look, a
As
stock
long as I'm on
runs,
the right side of it, John.
it's going to pay you either way, whatever the reason, right, wrong, negative, positive. A bankruptcy, there's no reason they should be going up. Do we care if that logic doesn't work? No, you get into it because it is going up. Everything else doesn't matter. All we're concerned about is the price rising. And if you know it's a pump and dump, that means you're well in knowledge. You already know in advance not to hang around. That's good. You use it all to your avail. There's nothing wrong with playing a pump and dump. You're not robbing anybody. We're all in the same game.
That's right. And that's the thing. If you're not realizing what's happening, the problem with the pumps like that, you could buy on the wrong side of it. And they drop quickly. I mean, you saw what John showed us this morning. It was up and then whoop, right back down. So just be careful and know what side you're on, what you're playing. If you happen to buy in because you think, well, yeah, it looks like it's doing it, and you start to get more red candles after a substantial move like that, protect yourself. Get out of there.
Oh, I see. I shrunk my screen, so it shrunk on your screen too. I didn't know it did that. Let's see here. Did I have anything else up here I wanted to show you? Wikisoft, I think maybe they bounced today. Things move.
WKEY? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was a reverse split, and I thought that was the ticker for it, or the name. Yeah. Sorry.
Let's see. Tour, WCF, vertical, build your own. No, that was it. Let's see if I have anything over on my charts over here. I'll bring you with me. You can follow me there. I like having company. Where'd my chart go? Where is my chart? There we go.
There he goes, hiding things again from himself.
Oh, I see. I've got so many screens. Where did it? No, it's not letting my chart come up.
You want me to pull one up for you?
Let me see if that does it. No, see, that's not it. No, I click my chart and it changes to this. Wonder why my chart won't come up. Well, let's see here. MSVI. Don't forget about MVSI. I don't think I can get my chart up, but I would definitely bring up a page here. We talked about this the other day. It has the workings of TXTM. Let's get this over here. Where'd you go? Right there. So this one here, we are looking at MVSI. Or no, MSVI. Dyslexic today. And bumbly. Marijuana Strategic Ventures, not their name anymore. They had news come out the other day. They've changed their name to Mushrooms Inc. And they've changed all their business. It's just a total flip. And it did run the other day. It ran real strong, which is why I talked about it. But this company's doing something interesting. And there's some videos on YouTube you can watch. It's very wild. But they're using mushrooms, not just for edibles and beverages like coffee and stuff like that. And not just psychedelics. No. They are making leather. They're making insulation. They're making packing peanuts and special packing stuff. They grow one big mushroom, one huge giant mushroom, and fit it. They make something out of that one giant mushroom. And this company's making leather out of it. And it looks just like leather. It is just simply amazing. So they're brand new. They just came out. They have products. They've got technology. The company just got it together. And there seems to be a lot of attention. It's been running for about 2 or 3 days now. Multi-day runners you want to keep your eye on. They'll have a dip. You'll get 3 or 4 days of run, and you can get one down, and then there it goes again. Put it on your daily chart, and you'll see. It just looks like a normal chart. Don't freak out if it falls all day one day. It could just very well be a pause in the rise.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was looking at the chart a little bit while you were talking about it, and
yeah, maybe you can bring up the chart. Just won't come up for me.
But I can bring it up real quick. Hold on. We'll do that before we leave. Share the screen.
Yeah, they are doing a lot of mushroom stuff, but I like the fact that they were doing replaceable products. They were jumping into a market that nobody else is in. First mover advantage, and they're not just starting with this technology. They're not trying to figure it out. They're already doing it. So
that's what we're seeing at the end of June, John. You know, it had that low, and really, if you look at it, you're having some stair steps. So June 30th is here on the chart.
Oh boy, look at that bounce the next day.
It's just stair stepping up, which I like. And if it'll hold that, then go ahead and play the trend.
Can see the last 2 days, it had two very big highs.
Yeah. So I like that.
And you can see another wedge. We got a beautiful wedge being developed right there.
It is a beauty. 10 day, a little bit closer. Let's go to 5 day, 5 minutes.
So looking at that chart,
this is your 5 day. Look at that.
And you'd want to buy at the bottom of one of those dips. So we are going up right now. You can see she has a habit of going up, then down, up, then down. So you want to catch it down.
The volume will be important on this one as well, because I mean, it could be just because it's new. No different than bankruptcy. It could be, oh, the new shiny. And the next thing you know, it just back down to a penny or 2 cents or 5 cents. And you're like, hey, what happened? You know, so don't get caught up in that. The products sound very interesting. And the way the chart and the trend is for it right now looks really good. But that's the thing, everybody. When the trend changes, your plan for that trade, or if you're going to trade, it has to change as well. Okay, keep that in mind. But yeah, that's pretty much what it looks like. It's really hard to, I mean, some of these OTCs are really hard to chart because of the way they move.
Well,
and like I said, if I didn't have the Hakanashi candles on, you wouldn't even be able to see this.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn that off real quick just so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm sure this one will do it.
Yeah, that's good.
Your regular candle trend. Look at that. Do y'all see it?
Yeah, and that's tough to read, isn't it?
It's impossible to read. So a lot of the OTCs, the Hakanashi candle.
Oh, that was wild. Did you all hear that? Max Headroom. We just had a Max Headroom from you.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's probably because of the weather still. I apologize. But yeah, it is bad. As we have terrible, severe thunderstorms here in the afternoon sometimes. But
yeah, the problem with low volume on these OTC stocks, it's like water in a hose that's turned off and turned on. You have no idea which direction the water is going to shoot until it's on, or how far it's going to go until you see the water flow. So without volume, it's all a guessing game, because even though you have a trend, if she's not moving steadily, how fast does it take to change direction? Just like that. Exactly. So volume is critical. I mean, if you're going to be sitting around in a stock that don't have volume, well, there's a very good likelihood the next time you look at it, it could be down. You got to be careful about that.
Very true. Very true. I'm seeing some comments from Jerry. I don't want to leave until we try to help Jerry out, but I'm trying to figure out what he said. I'm sorry, I'll put it on the screen because I've got a substantial position in VB, average less than 50 cents. Hoping for that quick 70% jump into something worthwhile. Okay, I see what you're saying. I thought you were saying you were down 70%, and I was about to just freak out.
All right.
You're good, Jerry.
All right, we'll take a quick look at it. I did get my chart up.
I don't think Jerry was here, so welcome, Jerry. And he does say right after that, John, he says that the reverse split's about to hurt. So I don't know if they're discussing doing that.
All right, let's see what we got.
That's not something I recommend staying in if you know a reverse split's coming.
All right, so a year ago she was at 374. It's the only time she's been over the 200 in the year. Hit a low here of 17 cents over a month ago. Looking at the 4 hour, she's been very flat for a long time here. Not a lot of activity on the technicals. Let's come down to that 20-day. All right, she's been hanging around the 200 with a lot of activity up and down, but she's just pretty much glued to it. Hasn't gone very far from it at all. All right, right now she's at 21 cents. 5 days ago, she was at 27 and 18. So she's dead center of her high and her low right now. Let's see then. Let me grab that ENVB. He says there's a reverse split coming.
He mentioned that, and I don't know if there's a date or what's going on with that. But if you're at 50 cents, it's around 21 cents. He's down around 50% right now. But reverse splits are usually very ugly, Jerry.
Yeah, reverse split is not going to be an opportunity.
You can, my suggestion, if a reverse split's coming really quickly or soon, and you don't have time to, double down and buy the dip, and it's under $1, so they're going to do something, and you're going to get caught in it, and you're going to lose some shares because they're going to reduce their float with the reverse split. And just because it's going to probably spike up to $5 does not mean that you will have profit of $5. You'll probably be in at, I don't know, $6.50, $7, and you'll be hurting. So my recommendation is to just grab the money and play another day somewhere else. I don't like holding the reverse splits ever.
I haven't found anything. I've been going through the 8Ks and the filings here. I don't see anything here.
He's saying reverse merger or reverse split. That's two different things.
Yeah, one's good.
It's a reverse split
good,
bad. Reverse merger could give you some catalyst.
All right, they've got no news here. This is 2017, most current here.
Log into my trading to see.
And the disclosures don't show anything unless it's mentioned here in a 10Q, and we'll just do a search for the word consolidation. Nope, that doesn't come up. And let's try split. All right, we do have the word split come up 6 times. I don't see any numbers here, so they're just talking right now. To implement a reverse stock split within 12 months following the. All right, so here, May 3rd, 2022, declared a dividend of 1/1000th of a share of C stock to implement a reverse stock split
within 12 months. So that means they can do it at any time if it's approved.
And I can't find a number. Now let's see. All shares of C preferred stock that are not present in person or proxy at the meeting of stockholders held to vote on the reverse stock split. Yeah, so it is just a reverse stock split of our stock, and they don't give us a ratio here. I don't know what it is, and we don't know when it's going to be, and obviously it has to be voted on still. Oh, here. Held of record at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, May 13th. Oh, so they've already made this decision. This looks like it's been done, but I can't see what the ratio is going to be. And how many shares does this company have? Let's see what they got. They got nothing over here because, well, what, look, I can't tell what market it's on. It doesn't tell me if it's on the, hold on.
This one, I think this one is NASDAQ, which is why we're getting that reverse split.
Okay, yeah, I have no information here. Doesn't even tell me what market or anything. So we would have to do some more investigation. So I don't even know what the share count is.
Started about 25.
All right. I think we're running a wee bit late.
We are. I was just wanting to help Jerry. And Jerry, I mean, we can't go much further right now because we have to get off of here. But reverse splits hurt. I don't care if it's 1 or 2. Or
if it's a reverse split, you probably want to get out. If it's a reverse merger, you probably want to stay in. That's as basic as you can get.
That's what I recommend. Of course, you don't have. That's what I would do. And even though 50%, that hurts. That it hurts. But that's money you could play with another day on stock that's not giving you these types of troubles right now. And do keep in mind, everybody, all of our smaller caps that are under $1, this is stuff that's happening. It's been happening. It's going to continue to happen. They are clawing to stay listed on the NASDAQ, and they need money. All there is to it. So don't take personal offense, but do have a trading plan for that. Don't get mixed up in those. You can always buy back in after reverse split settles. And then sometimes they'll even pop up a little bit after that. Different discussion. John, thank you so much.
Yeah, we appreciate your time, and we apologize for the technical difficulties. You know, it doesn't normally happen. I'm sure it is a temporary situation, but thank you for staying here with us. I mean, that's why we're here. If you weren't here, well, what fun would this be? I mean, I do it alone every day. I like it better when you guys are here. I like it better when she's here. Or is it she's
I
here?
like talking to others too. So glad y'all are here and that we can help y'all. You bring your suggestions, tickers, and we look them over together. Awesome, you guys. That's why we do this.
Thursday, 4 o'clock next week. We'll see you here again. See you, folks.
See ya.